Fixing his eyes on the Sanhedrin, Paul said, "Men and brothers, to this day I have lived my life in all good conscience toward God." Then the high priest Ananias, the one who condemned Jesus, commanded those standing by him to strike his mouth. And they did. Paul then said to him, "God is going to strike you, you whitewashed wall. Do you sit there judging me according to the law, and then, contrary to the law, command me to be struck?" Those standing by said, "Do you malign the high priest of God?" Paul said, "Oh, I was unaware, brothers, that he is high priest. It is written, you shall not speak evil of the ruler of your people." And he was probably thinking, so why do you speak evil of Jesus, the high priest of Israel? Then Paul, knowing, he figured this out, that one part were Sadducees and the other Pharisees, he cried out in the council, "Men and brothers, I am a Pharisee." Well, he knew how to use to play his cards in the right way. "I'm a Pharisee, the son of a Pharisee. I am on trial concerning the hope and resurrection of the dead." After he said this, there arose a dispute between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and the crowd was divided. The Sadducees say there is no resurrection, nor angel or spirit. But Pharisees acknowledged them all. And Paul knew that. And there was a great uproar, and the scribes who were of the part of the Pharisees rose up and began protesting bitterly, saying, "We find nothing wrong with this man. If a spirit or angel has spoken to him, we had better not fight against God." They remember what Gamaliel had said at earlier meeting. And when the dispute grew violent, they started fighting. The tribune, afraid lest Paul would be torn apart by them, commanded the soldiers to go down and pull him out of their midst and take him back to headquarters. The following night, the Lord stood by him and said, "Take courage, Paul. For as you have testified of things concerning me in Jerusalem, likewise you must also bear witness in Rome." When day came, some Jews formed a conspiracy and bound themselves under an oath, saying that they would neither eat nor drink until they had killed Paul. There were more than 40 men who were involved in this plot. And they came to the chief priest and to the elders and said, "We have bound ourselves under an oath with a curse to eat nothing until we kill Paul. So now you, together with the Sanhedrin, inform the tribune that tomorrow he should bring him down to you as if you would more thoroughly examine matters relating to him. But we are ready to kill him before he comes near." But when Paul's nephew, sister's son, learned of the ambush, he went and entered into the camp and reported it to Paul. Then Paul called one of the centurions and said, "Take this young man to the tribune. He has something to tell you." So he took him and led him, to the tribune and said, "The prisoner Paul called me and asked me to bring this young man to you because he has something to tell you." Then the tribune took him by the hand and withdrew and inquired privately, "What is it that you have to tell me?" And he answered, "The Jews have agreed to ask you to bring Paul down to the Sanhedrin tomorrow as though they have to more fully understand something about him. But you must not be persuaded by them. More than 40 men among them are lying in wait for him, who have bound themselves with an oath to neither eat nor drink until they kill him. And now they are ready, waiting for your consent." At this, the tribune let the young man go, instructing him, "Tell no one that you have made these things known to me." And summoning certain 2 centurions, he said, "Make ready 200 soldiers to go to Caesarea, with 70 horsemen and 200 spearmen at the 3rd hour of the night." 3rd hour of the night? That's 3 o'clock in the morning. Isn't it? 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, yeah. 9 o'clock at night, and provide mounts When did Jesus die? When was it, the ninth hour? 9 o'clock. Yeah. 12-hour shifts there. And provide mounts so that Paul might be mounted to bring him safely to Felix the governor. And he wrote a letter containing this message. Claudius Lysias to the most excellent procurator Felix. Greeting. This man was seized by the Jews, and when he was about to be killed by them, I heroically came with soldiers and rescued him, having learned that he is a Roman. Well, he kind of polished it a little bit. Summarized it. Then I brought him down to their council, desirous to ascertain the reason they were accusing. I found that he was accused in regard to disputed matters of their law, and there was no accusation deserving of death or imprisonment. But when it was brought to my attention that a plot against this man was about to be carried out by the Jews, I immediately sent him to you, also ordering the accusers to bring charges against him before you. Farewell. Signed, Heroic Claudius Lysias, rescuer of all Romans in every place. The soldiers, therefore, following their orders, took Paul and brought him during the night to Antipatris. And they returned to camp the next day, leaving the horsemen to go on with him, who entered into Caesarea, delivered the letter to the governor, and presented Paul to him. And when the governor had read it, he asked which province he was from. And when he learned that he was from Cilicia, he said, I will give you a hearing when your accusers arrive. And he ordered him to be kept in the praetorium of heaven. Whew. What an adventure.
What is praetorium?
Yeah, it's a common hall in the official residence of the... Well, Jesus was brought to the praetorium too at Pontius Pilate's place.
So it's not like a dungeon or anything?
No, it's not a dungeon.